Emotions affect everything. The Venice episode. Have you ever been to Venice? Whether you've been there or not, have you ever had an experience that the expectations were here and the reality or the experience was here? They weren't quite the same. I've had the chance to visit Venice a few times, and on the first trip, there were 4 of us, and it was raining and cold and empty, and we were tired and hungry, and we got lost. Venice is only about 1.5 miles or so wide, a little wider than that. It's relatively like an oval, I guess. But the trip from the parking lot, or where the trains come into Venice, to San Marco, Piazza del San Marco, the St. Mark's place, is maybe a 2-mile walk if you go in a straight line. And you get to cross one of the beautiful bridges, maybe the Rialto Bridge, over the Grand Canal. But if you get lost, you cross a lot of bridges. There are, I think, 118 islands that compose Venice, and a lot of bridges and a lot of canals. Some of them tiny, some of them big, some of them massive. And we're lost. We eventually find this canal, and I think, that must be the Grand Canal. We didn't have a map. We had a guidebook of Italy that had a tiny, tiny little map of Venice, but with almost nothing labeled. And everything seemed the same, especially with the abbreviations. You're like, this might be the Chiesa San Marco. No, it's not. It is. That's not. I don't know. It says this M.A. What is M.A.? There's another one that's similar. Santa Maria Maggiore. Is it that? I don't know. It says Santa Mar. Ma. So expectations, experience, reality. There were 4 of us on that first trip, and not all of us were happy during that experience. And some of us thought that maybe Jonathan was responsible for the planning or the amount of time we had allotted to Venice, or finding good food before we got lost, or the weather. Second trip to Venice, there were 8 of us. And it was hot, beautiful and sunny, crowded. And we had a longer walk from where the ferry dropped us off to where we were staying than any of us, especially right here, had expected. Expectations and reality. Emotions affect everything. Now, if you're consistently world class at being involved in situations like this, and making them incredible and positively affecting the people in your group, then do not join us in this emotional intelligence crash course. But if you're like me, or if you're like everyone in those groups that I participated in visiting Venice, join me in the emotional intelligence crash course. It's simple, practical, incredibly effective tools to help take our emotional intelligence to another level.